So today I wanted to get into relationship types, but for this time I wanted to show you somebody who is not a good match for you, um, because there is going to be an increase in vampirism. And what I mean by that is energetic way. There are going to be people who get so low or who are so far off their course that they are going to be essentially searching for people who have like to kind of feed off in some ways. And we've all been at a place where we had been our brightest and we found somebody who was really a light and you got like sort of clingy to that person. The thing about this is the person who's a vampire never stops clinging when they can't get through their cycles of victimhood. It's just you really needing energy. That's what being a vampire is now, or somebody who is toxic or is something like that. So I'm going to explain how this works in a chart. So this is the chart of somebody who is still like super toxic. To me, we haven't been friends for years, but I want to show you her individual chart and then let you see it in combination with mine. And that will help you understand how to see in your chart when somebody might not necessarily be on the up and up. So first and foremost, maybe it would be best in general. Let's break down this here. This is a person who came to explore, right? But they came to explore this intercepted energy of the Capricorn. So this person, first and foremost, on their sleeve, materialistic. That is what this person is looking for. Money. They're supposed to be an entrepreneur, but because it's intercepted, that might be something difficult. It's not an energy that's gathered. Now, opposing that or working against this person being entrepreneur is all this family stuff. You see the moon in Cancer, Chiron in Cancer, which is usually a sign of some type of neglect or abuse, and then Jupiter in Cancer. Now, with that being said, this means that the emotions, the moodiness work against her being able to do things on her own, because the goal for this person's life, right, is to come away from trying to own or, I guess, work other people's money, essentially. Because this is creative ways of finding power with this Leo in eighth. It could even be somebody who was powerful or used their royalty or their status in some way that kept other people down. But this is coming from the punishment place, essentially. The eighth house is the house of things that have to be reconstructed. So this means this person got out for whatever crime they did, and they were supposed to step away from using the assets of this energy here into learning to be part of a team and earning money in that way. That is exactly what this person came to do. Now, Lilith in 10th means that they're seen a certain way in their career. Maybe there's a darkness or a sexuality that is seen, but also powerful friends with this setup. So on its own, it's like, okay, so this person is definitely about their money. These are not things that I looked out for at first, because that's not typically, I guess I always try to see the best in people, as we all do, which is why this video came up. So you can actually look through the degrees. You see these numbers right here, guys? The degrees of every single thing here. My husband's intuition, because he's Aquarius, right? He understood all of this. His energy always told me that this was a freeloader. This was somebody who was just riding around on tails. And after a while, it seemed that way. I looked up the Jupiter, which is the way that she intended to expand this life. And then that connects over here to karma and the change that she needed to be made, right? That means this area is the one that needed to be rerouted because it was causing the opposition, the way she expands. And what is that 1 degree Cancer? This is my favorite site, Astro Theme. You can type in the degree here and it pops up. Selfish, lazy, and conceited character. This degree describes a freeloader who is unwilling to help one's friends. Although one is refined and subtle, these qualities are overshadowed by the will to take advantage of other people's generosity in any way possible. Life is easy, yet it is that of a sponger. You see that there? Okay, so these spongy past life tendencies she had were supposed to be melded into her learning how to run a business, be an entrepreneur, right? So that's fine and dandy. Let me mix that with my chart here. So you can see how somebody like that would affect your energy and how you understand recognizing difficulties in synastry. So here we have both combinations, correct? Let me do it where mine is on top and hers is on the bottom, because that's easier for my eyes. Okay, so This is hilarious. All right, so her South Node is in her 8th house, but it's in my 1st house. So she was supposed to be, I guess, my partner in crime, because we're supposed to be learning how to work together as a team. That didn't work out well. Fear not. Somebody else will get sent again. Now, the areas you want to look at when seeing what the tone of a relationship was are the South Node points. You see this South Node over here, that's in her 8th, my 1st, but my South Node is over here at the beginning of her friendship cusp. Over here at the 6th house, the house of enemies, open enemies, people that you know are your enemies, resides her mind, her restrictions in life, her karmic punishment, her way she's supposed to earn money. This is also your day-to-day life and how you work, but it is your house of open enemies. Also, for enemies, you check the 7th house, which is where her sun is in my chart, but also the house of hidden enemies, which is the 12th house, right? Look over here, her moon is in the 12th house, and her Chiron, her pain, I guess her issues with family and women and stuff like that, ping right off of my cusp. So you would also look at any karmic aspects you might have. Anywhere that Pluto works with planets, that gives this a transformative nature, a Plutonian nature, if you will. Something about who she is and having a friendship with her was meant to change the way I viewed family, viewed the way I take care of my family in some ways. So there is always a lesson here. But if you're looking to find out if there's somebody that rubs you the wrong way and you can't figure out what it is, check this 6th, 7th, 8th, and 12th house connections. If there are planets there, is there something? Because you see my sun and Mars are in her 8th house. We have a long history of shit. When those sort of things come up, this is a relationship that is karmic, that is based on things that needed to be weeded out. And I would say that is not meant to last forever. Not every relationship is meant to be forever. You're meant to learn the lesson and move from there, especially when it's plutonic energy. This means something's going to burn away and you move on. When something is in the 12th house, this means that it's karma. If it's in the 8th house, it's a punishment. If it's the 6th house, this is somebody who has something against you. You are learning about something in your day-to-day life through your connections with this person over time. So this was just my little insider to help people out dealing with vampiric energy and past life connections and stuff. Like shit, this was interesting for me too, because I didn't find out till like 10 years later. But you have the ability to take the degrees. Look at this shit. The degrees of any part of your chart, anybody else's, and it'll tell you the character you're starting with. And if you have an aspect, sorry, that's my DoorDash. If you have an aspect like Uranus, like where's her Uranus? If you have Uranus, that's mine. If you have Uranus working against one of your planets, or opposing or square or anything, that means Uranus is trying to change a certain type of behavior in you or in that person in this chart here. But hopefully this was helpful, my little tidbit on energy vampires and how to recognize people who are enemies or may not be people who are meant to be long-term. You can be trying to force a relationship and it literally was just meant to be a lesson.